Hello, and welcome back to the Nocturnal Astronomer. I am your host, Atlas Reed. Tonight, as many of us gather with loved ones for Thanksgiving, I want to take you on a gentle journey through the cosmos, one that invites both wonder and reflection. We will explore how the universe itself teaches us about gratitude, connection, and perspective. From the ancient light of distant stars to the very atoms in our bodies, we will discover how astronomy reveals our place in something far grander than ourselves. Before we begin, if you enjoy these nighttime explorations of the cosmos, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It helps me continue creating these soothing cosmic journeys for you. I am also curious, where in the world are you watching from tonight? And what time is it where you are? Drop a comment below. I love hearing from fellow stargazers around the globe. Alright, settle in. Dim the lights. Perhaps you are in bed or curled up on the couch. Wherever you are, take a deep breath. Let your shoulders relax. Tonight, we are going to look up at the stars and reflect on what they tell us about gratitude. Let's dive in. The November night sky holds a special beauty. As autumn deepens, the air grows crisp and the stars seem to shine with particular clarity. This month, if you step outside after sunset, you will notice 3 brilliant planets gracing the evening sky like celestial ornaments. Venus appears low in the southwest, shining with dazzling brilliance. Saturn glows with its characteristic yellow hue midway up the southern sky. And Jupiter, the king of planets, rises majestically in the east, outshining nearly every star in the heavens. These planets have been humanity's companions for millennia. Long before telescopes, ancient peoples watched these wandering lights move against the backdrop of fixed stars, weaving stories and meaning into their patterns. Even now, with all our scientific understanding, there is something deeply moving about seeing these worlds with your own eyes. They remind us that we are not alone in the cosmic ocean, that our Earth is part of a family of planets, all children of the same sun. Jupiter deserves special attention this month. Through even a modest telescope or steadily held binoculars, you can glimpse its 4 largest moons, first observed by Galileo Galilei in January 1610. Think about that for a moment. When Galileo pointed his handmade telescope at Jupiter, he discovered something that changed humanity forever. He saw 4 points of light moving around the giant planet, proving that not everything in the universe circles Earth. These moons, now called Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto, were the first celestial bodies discovered since humans began tracking the planets thousands of years ago. This discovery was revolutionary. It challenged the prevailing belief that Earth sat at the center of creation. Galileo showed us that we inhabit a cosmos far more vast and intricate than previously imagined. In a way, this was an early lesson in cosmic humility, one that would be echoed again and again as astronomy revealed the true scale of the universe. On Thanksgiving night this year, Jupiter will be particularly prominent, hanging about 10 degrees above the eastern horizon as twilight fades. If you have access to a telescope, you might see all 4 Galilean moons, 3 on one side of the planet and 1 on the other. Imagine the light reaching your eye from these moons began its journey across space 43 minutes ago, traveling at 186,000 miles per second, the fastest speed possible in our universe. This November also offers a glimpse of stars whose light has been traveling far longer to reach us. The star Algenib, marking the lower left corner of the Great Square of Pegasus, shines from approximately 400 light-years away. Think about that distance for a moment. The light entering your eye tonight left that star around the year 1625, the same era as the first Thanksgiving celebrations in the American colonies. When that photon of light began its journey across the void, none of our modern world existed. Yet the light traveled on, faithfully, through empty space, through time itself, until tonight when it enters your eye. Another star, Almach, at the end of the constellation Andromeda, also lies roughly 400 light-years distant. These stars offer us something precious, a connection to history written not in books but in light. They remind us that looking up is also looking back in time. The night sky is not just a spatial expanse but a temporal one, a living archive of the past. As you stand beneath these November stars, perhaps waiting for turkey to cook or sharing quiet moments with family, you are participating in something humans have done since the beginning, looking up and wondering, seeking connection with something larger than ourselves. In February 1990, the Voyager 1 spacecraft, then more than 3.7 billion miles from the Sun and speeding beyond Neptune toward interstellar space, performed an unusual task. At the suggestion of astronomer Carl Sagan, mission controllers commanded the probe to turn its camera around one final time and photograph the planets it was leaving behind. The result was a series of 60 images that became known as the family portrait of the solar system. In one of these images, Earth appears as a tiny speck, less than 1 pixel in size, suspended in a beam of scattered sunlight. Sagan called it the pale blue dot. When you look at this image, you see our entire world reduced to barely visible point of light against the vast cosmic dark. Every human who has ever existed, every civilization, every war, every act of love, every dream and discovery, all contained on that barely visible mote of dust. Sagan reflected on this image with words that continue to resonate decades later. He observed that everyone we love, everyone we know, every human being who ever was, lived out their existence on this tiny stage. Every confident religion and ideology, every hunter and forager, every hero and villain, every creator and destroyer of civilization, all on that pale blue dot suspended in a sunbeam. This perspective, Sagan noted, has a humbling quality. Our posturings and imagined self-importance appear different when viewed against the vastness of space. The Earth is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark, he wrote, and there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. For the moment, Earth is where we make our stand. This cosmic perspective carries profound implications. Astronomy, Sagan believed, is a humbling and character-building experience. Perhaps no better demonstration exists of the folly of human conceits than this distant image of our tiny world. To him, it underscored our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue, the only home we have ever known. This is where gratitude meets astronomy. When we see ourselves as inhabitants of a fragile planet floating in an incomprehensibly large universe, our perspective shifts. The disagreements that loom so large in our daily lives, the divisions we create between ourselves, begin to seem smaller against the backdrop of cosmic scale. We are all passengers together on this small world, bound by our shared existence in space and time. Scientists have identified a phenomenon called the overview effect, experienced by astronauts who view Earth from space. They describe a cognitive shift, an overwhelming sense of connection to all life, an understanding of Earth as a whole system without visible boundaries. Many report feeling deep gratitude for our planet, seeing it as a rare oasis of warmth and life against the cold void of space. But we do not need to travel to space to experience a version of this perspective. Simply learning about our cosmic context can shift how we see ourselves. When you understand that you are standing on a planet hurtling through space at 67,000 miles per hour, orbiting a star that is itself moving through the galaxy, you begin to feel part of something dynamic and vast. When you realize that Earth is the only world known to harbor life, at least in our immediate cosmic neighborhood, you might feel a surge of gratitude for the precise conditions that allow life to flourish here. This Thanksgiving, as you reflect on what you are grateful for, consider adding the universe itself to your list. Be grateful for the laws of physics that allow stars to shine and planets to form. Be grateful for the particular distance between Earth and Sun that keeps our world neither too hot nor too cold. One of Carl Sagan's most enduring statements came from his 1980 television series Cosmos. He said, "We are made of star stuff." This is not mere poetic flourish. It is literal scientific truth, one of the most profound discoveries of modern astronomy. Let us trace this story from the beginning. Approximately 13.8 billion years ago, the universe began with the Big Bang. In those first moments, conditions were unimaginably extreme. Temperatures were so high that even the most basic building blocks of matter could not form. But as the universe expanded and cooled, within the first few minutes, the simplest atomic nuclei came into being, primarily hydrogen and helium with a trace of lithium. For hundreds of millions of years, the universe remained a vast cloud of these simple elements, dark and formless. Then, about 100 million years after the Big Bang, pockets of this hydrogen and helium began collapsing under their own gravity. As they collapsed, they heated up until nuclear fusion ignited in their cores. The first stars were born. Inside the cores of stars, intense pressure and temperature allow hydrogen atoms to fuse together, creating helium and releasing tremendous energy in the process. This is what makes stars shine. But when a star exhausts its hydrogen fuel, something remarkable happens. If the star is massive enough, it begins fusing helium into heavier elements like carbon and oxygen. More massive stars continue this process, creating nitrogen, silicon, sulfur, and eventually iron. But fusion can only create elements up to iron. The elements heavier than iron, including the gold in jewelry, the silver in coins, the iodine essential for our metabolism, these require even more extreme conditions. They form during the violent deaths of massive stars and explosions called supernovae. In those catastrophic final moments, as a dying star blasts itself apart, the energy is so immense that it forges the heaviest elements in nature. These supernova explosions scatter the newly created elements across space, enriching vast clouds of gas and dust called nebulae. Over time, these enriched clouds collapse again, forming new generations of stars and, crucially, planets. Our solar system formed about 4.6 billion years ago from just such an enriched nebula. The Sun is what astronomers call a third-generation star, meaning it formed from material processed through previous stars. The rocky planets, including Earth, formed from dust particles that aggregated into larger and larger bodies. That dust contained the carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, calcium, iron, phosphorus, and other elements created in ancient stars. Now consider your own body. Roughly 99% of your mass comes from just 6 elements. Oxygen makes up about 65%, carbon 18%, hydrogen 10%, nitrogen 3%, calcium 1.5%, and phosphorus 1%. Every single one of these elements heavier than hydrogen was forged in the core of a star or in a supernova explosion. The iron in your blood that carries oxygen to your cells was created in the core of a massive star billions of years ago. The calcium in your bones and teeth formed in a similar stellar forge. The carbon that forms the backbone of every organic molecule in your body, every protein, every strand of DNA, this carbon was created when helium atoms fused inside an ancient red giant star. You are, quite literally, assembled from atoms that once resided in stars. The same is true for everything around you. The wood of trees, the metal in cars, the air you breathe, all made of star stuff. As Sagan noted, we are a way for the cosmos to know itself. This realization brings a profound sense of connection and gratitude. Light is perhaps the most remarkable phenomenon in the universe. It travels at exactly 186,000 miles per second, or 300,000 kilometers per second. This is the ultimate speed limit of the universe. Nothing can move faster. This fact, discovered through careful experiments and enshrined in Einstein's theory of relativity, shapes everything about how we experience the cosmos. Because light travels at a finite speed, looking across space is also looking back in time. When you see the sun, you are seeing it as it appeared 8 minutes and 20 seconds ago, because that is how long sunlight takes to reach Earth across 93 million miles. If the sun were to suddenly vanish, we would not know for more than 8 minutes, continuing to see its light and feel its warmth until that final photon arrived. The stars we see at night lie much farther away. Even the closest star beyond our sun, Proxima Centauri, is 4.2 light-years distant. A light year is the distance light travels in 1 year, approximately 5.9 trillion miles. When you see Proxima Centauri, you see light that left that star over 4 years ago. Most stars visible to the naked eye lie between dozens and hundreds of light years away. Think about this for a moment. When you look at a star 100 light years distant, you are seeing light that departed that star in 1925, before most modern technology existed. The star may have changed or even died since then, but we will not know for another 100 years. This has a curious implication. When you gaze at the night sky, you are not seeing the universe as it exists now. You are seeing a patchwork of different times. Nearby stars show you the recent past, distant stars reveal events from centuries or millennia ago, and the farthest galaxies visible through powerful telescopes show us the universe as it existed billions of years ago when the cosmos was young. Consider the Andromeda Galaxy, our nearest large galactic neighbor, visible as a faint smudge on autumn nights. Andromeda lies 2.5 million light-years away. The light entering your eye on a clear November night left that galaxy 2.5 million years ago, when our own ancestors were just learning to use stone tools. That light has been traveling through empty space, carrying information about that distant island of stars for longer than our species has existed in its current form. The speed of light also means that we can never see the universe as it truly is in this moment. We see only the past, layers upon layers of it, arranged by distance. In a very real sense, looking up at the stars is like opening a history book written in light. Each photon carries a message from the past, information about where it came from and what happened along its journey. This strange relationship between time and space invites reflection. We are bound into the fabric of space and time along with everything else in the cosmos. The present moment for us, here on Earth, is not the present moment for distant stars. Time itself is relative, flowing differently depending on motion and gravity. Yet despite these cosmic complexities, or perhaps because of them, we can feel grateful for the simple act of seeing starlight. Every time you look up and see a star, you are catching ancient photons that have traveled unimaginable distances to reach your eye. You are receiving messages from the past, from distant suns, from places so remote that human minds struggle to comprehend the gulf that separates us. but the light bridges that gulf connects us across space and time. Throughout human history, people have struggled with their place in the universe. For most of recorded civilization, humans believed Earth stood at the center of creation, with the sun, moon, stars, and planets all revolving around us. This was more than astronomy. It was a statement about human importance, our centrality to existence itself. This geocentric view began to crumble in 1543 when Nicholas Copernicus proposed that Earth and other planets orbit the Sun. The evidence supporting this model accumulated over the following century. When Galileo observed the phases of Venus and the moons of Jupiter, he confirmed that Copernicus was right. We were not the center. We orbited the Sun just as the other planets did. This was a shocking demotion. Religious and philosophical authorities resisted because the implications seemed to diminish humanity. If we are not at the center, are we not special? If Earth is merely one planet among others, what does that say about our importance? As astronomy advanced, each new discovery seemed to push us further from any privileged position. In the early 20th century, astronomers realized that the Milky Way, our galaxy containing hundreds of billions of stars, was just one galaxy among countless others. Edwin Hubble's observations in the 1920s revealed that the universe is vast beyond imagination, filled with billions of galaxies, each containing billions of stars. The Hubble Space Telescope later captured images showing that even the darkest patches of sky, when examined with sufficient sensitivity, teem with galaxies. A tiny region of space, barely the size of a grain of sand held at arm's length, contains thousands of galaxies. And each galaxy contains billions of stars, many likely surrounded by planets. We now estimate the observable universe contains approximately 2 trillion galaxies. Our Sun is an ordinary star in an ordinary spiral arm of an ordinary galaxy. Earth is a medium-sized rocky planet orbiting at a comfortable distance from that ordinary star. By almost any measure, we seem cosmically insignificant. But here is where perspective becomes crucial. Insignificance in terms of size does not equal insignificance in terms of meaning. Yes, we are tiny. Yes, we occupy an unremarkable location in a vast cosmos. But we are also, as far as we know, the universe's way of knowing itself, of understanding itself. We are conscious matter, atoms arranged in such exquisite complexity that they can contemplate their own existence. This perspective invites gratitude rather than despair. Consider what had to happen for you to exist. The universe had to come into being. Stars had to form, live, and die, creating heavy elements. Those elements had to gather into new stars and planets. On at least one planet, conditions had to be just right for life to emerge. That life had to evolve over billions of years, becoming more complex, developing nervous systems, brains, consciousness. An unbroken chain of ancestors had to survive and reproduce, generation after generation for millions of years, leading eventually to you. The odds against any particular person existing are astronomically small. Yet here you are. You are the beneficiary of 13.8 billion years of cosmic history, all leading to this moment. Every atom in your body has a story billions of years old. You are ancient and brand new simultaneously, composed of primordial matter arranged in a temporary pattern that thinks and feels and wonders. This realization, far from making us feel small, should inspire profound gratitude. We exist against impossible odds. We have won a cosmic lottery simply by being born. We get to experience this universe, to see stars, to feel warmth, to love and be loved, to think and create. Humility and gratitude are natural companions. When we acknowledge our smallness in the cosmic scale, we can also appreciate the remarkable gift of existence. Earth occupies a privileged position that astronomers call the habitable zone, the range of distances from a star where conditions allow liquid water to exist on a planet's surface. Move too close to the sun and water boils away. Move too far and everything freezes solid. Earth sits right in the middle, in the Goldilocks zone where conditions are just right. But this is just the beginning of our planet's fortunate circumstances. Earth's mass is large enough to hold onto an atmosphere, but not so massive that it retains poisonous gases like Jupiter does. Our atmosphere is thick enough to provide pressure and insulation while remaining transparent enough to allow sunlight through. The composition of our air, roughly 78% nitrogen and 21% oxygen, supports complex life. Earth's magnetic field, generated by currents in our molten iron core, shields the surface from harmful solar radiation and cosmic rays that would otherwise strip away our atmosphere and sterilize the surface. Our moon, unusually large relative to Earth, stabilizes our planet's rotation, preventing wild swings in climate that would make life difficult or impossible. Even the presence of Jupiter helps by acting as a gravitational shield, deflecting many asteroids and comets that might otherwise collide with Earth. The list goes on. Earth's rotation rate gives us moderate day and night lengths, preventing temperature extremes. The tilt of our axis creates seasons, but not so extreme that they make life untenable. Plate tectonics recycle carbon and regulate temperature over geological time. The right amount of water covers the right proportion of the surface. All of these factors, and many more, combine to make Earth extraordinarily hospitable to life. Scientists estimate our galaxy contains billions of planets, yet we have not yet found definitive evidence of life beyond Earth. This does not mean we are alone. The universe is vast and we have barely begun to search, but it does underscore how special our circumstances are. This Thanksgiving, amid thoughts of family, food, and fellowship, consider feeling grateful for these cosmic circumstances. Be thankful for the distance between Earth and Sunday. Be grateful for Jupiter's protective presence. Give thanks for the magnetic field you cannot see but which shields you every moment. Appreciate the atmosphere that lets you breathe and protects you from space's harsh radiation. These are not things we typically include in gratitude practices, but perhaps they should be. Every breath you take depends on billions of years of planetary evolution creating exactly the right atmospheric composition. Every sip of water you drink connects you to the cosmic process that delivered water to the early Earth, possibly via comets. Every meal you eat depends on photosynthesis, which relies on the precise wavelengths of light our sun emits and our atmosphere allows through. You are not simply alive through random chance. You are alive because countless factors, from the cosmic to the microscopic, happen to be configured in precisely the right way. Change any one of numerous variables and life as we know it might not exist. The Earth could be a frozen wasteland or a scorched desert. The atmosphere could be unbreathable. The surface could be bombarded with radiation. But instead, we have this. A blue jewel of a world, swirling with white clouds, covered in liquid water, teeming with life and astonishing diversity. From bacteria to blue whales, from desert cacti to rainforest trees, from microscopic plankton to humans contemplating their existence, life has flourished here for nearly 4 billion years. When astronauts look down at Earth from orbit, they often report being moved to tears by the beauty and fragility of our world. They see no borders between nations, no walls, just one interconnected system, one home for all life. One of the most beautiful aspects of astronomy is how it connects us across time and space to all of humanity. Every culture throughout history has looked up at the same stars we see tonight, though they saw them from different perspectives and wove different stories around them. The ancient Egyptians watched the star Sirius, the brightest in the night sky, whose heliacal rising announced the annual flooding of the Nile. Greek sailors navigated by the stars, using constellations as guides across the Mediterranean. The Polynesian people accomplished something even more remarkable, navigating thousands of miles across the Pacific Ocean using only the stars, wave patterns, and their profound understanding of nature. Indigenous peoples around the world developed sophisticated astronomical knowledge, tracking the movements of celestial bodies to mark seasons, plan agriculture, and navigate landscapes. The ancestral Puebloans built structures aligned with solar and lunar events. The Maya developed accurate calendars based on careful observations of Venus and other celestial bodies. Aboriginal Australians maintained astronomical knowledge that recent research confirms is tens of thousands of years old, making it possibly the oldest continuous scientific tradition on Earth. Every human civilization has been drawn to the night sky, finding in it practical information, spiritual meaning, aesthetic beauty, and existential questions. When you look up at the stars, you are participating in something humans have done since the beginning of our species. You are looking at the same objects that inspired wonder in the first humans to walk upright, and the builders of Stonehenge, and the astronomers of ancient Babylon. This creates a connection across time. The light from Polaris, the North Star, takes about 430 years to reach Earth. Someone watching Polaris in the late 1500s saw light that you are seeing right now tonight. You and that person, separated by centuries, are sharing the same photons. In a very real sense, you are seeing the same light. This is true for anyone who looks at the stars. The photons entering your eye have traveled across space for years or centuries or millennia. They have passed by without stopping countless other potential observers. But tonight, in this moment, they find their way into your eye, trigger a cascade of chemical reactions in your retina, and generate the experience of seeing a star. You are catching light that has been traveling since before you were born, before your parents were born, perhaps before entire civilizations rose and fell. Astronomy also connects us across space to all conscious observers who might exist elsewhere in the universe. We do not yet know if we are alone, but most astronomers suspect that given the billions of planets in our galaxy alone, life likely exists elsewhere. Whether intelligent, technological life exists is more uncertain, but it seems plausible. If other conscious beings exist on distant worlds, they too look up at their night sky and wonder. They see different stars, different constellations, but the same fundamental cosmos. They are governed by the same laws of physics, made of the same elements forged in stars. They perhaps ask the same big questions about meaning, purpose, and connection. In this sense, contemplating the cosmos can foster a sense of universal kinship. We are all made of star stuff, all temporary arrangements of atoms that have existed since the early universe, all participants in the grand cosmic story. Whether we eventually find other life or remain alone, we share this universe, this space, this time. As you gather with loved ones this Thanksgiving, consider that you are sharing space and time with them in a very particular way. You are all here, now, together on this planet. The present moment exists simultaneously for all of you, though it does not exist simultaneously across the cosmos. So how do we integrate cosmic perspective into our daily gratitude practice? How do we move from intellectual understanding to felt appreciation? One approach is to simply spend time under the stars. Go outside on a clear night, away from bright lights if possible. Let your eyes adjust to the darkness for at least 10 or 15 minutes. As your vision adapts, fainter stars will emerge. The sky deepens, reveals more of itself. While you stand there, reflect on what you have learned. That distant star is another sun, perhaps with its own family of planets. The light reaching your eye is ancient, having traveled for years or decades or longer. The atoms in your body were made in stars. You are, quite literally, the universe looking at itself. Try to feel this rather than just thinking it. Notice what arises. For many people, genuine wonder emerges, a sense of being part of something vast and ancient. Some feel humility. Others feel gratitude. There is no right or wrong response. Simply allow yourself to be present with the experience. Another practice involves learning the stories behind constellations, not just the Greek myths most Western astronomy books emphasize, but the diverse stories told by cultures around the world. Different peoples saw different patterns in the stars and attached different meanings. Learning these stories connects you to the full breadth of human experience and imagination. You might also practice what astronomer Carl Sagan called a cosmic perspective, deliberately considering your life and concerns from the viewpoint of space and time. When facing a difficult problem, imagine viewing it from the distance of the moon, then from Mars, then from the edge of the solar system. How does it look from that vantage point? This is not to dismiss your concerns as unimportant, but to help you see them in a broader context. Mindfulness practices can incorporate cosmic awareness. During meditation, you might visualize yourself as you are, sitting in this room, on this planet, which is spinning at over 1,000 miles per hour at the equator and hurtling through space at 67,000 miles per hour in its orbit around the Sun, which itself is moving at nearly 500,000 miles per hour through the galaxy. You are in motion, part of a dynamic cosmic dance, yet you feel still and centered. You can cultivate gratitude for specific astronomical phenomena. Be grateful for the sun's warmth and light, which drives virtually all processes on Earth's surface. Be thankful for the moon, whose gravitational pull creates tides that helped early life transition from water to land. Appreciate the darkness of night itself, which allows us to see the stars and remember our cosmic context. Consider keeping an astronomy gratitude journal, recording observations of the night sky alongside reflections on what they inspire in you. Note when you see a particularly bright planet, a meteor streaking across the sky, or the moon in a beautiful phase. Write about how these sights make you feel, what they remind you of, what perspectives they offer. Share cosmic wonder with others. Watch the stars with friends or family. Point out planets, constellations, the Milky Way on a dark night. Discuss what you find meaningful about astronomy. These shared experiences can deepen relationships while expanding everyone's perspective. Finally, let cosmic gratitude inform how you live. Recognizing Earth's rarity and fragility can motivate environmental stewardship. Understanding our common cosmic heritage can foster compassion and unity. Appreciating the improbability of your existence can help you savor experiences and relationships more fully. The universe has given us everything. Our very existence, our consciousness, our capacity for love and meaning, all emerge from the cosmic process. The stars created the elements in our bodies. The evolution of the universe over billions of years led eventually to us. We are temporary patterns in the eternal flow of matter and energy, brief candles in the cosmic dark. But what remarkable candles we are. And on that note, we come to the end of tonight's journey through gratitude and the cosmos. We have explored the November sky with its bright planets and ancient starlight, reflected on our place in the universe through the lens of the pale blue, discovered our literal connection to the stars through the atoms in our bodies, considered the gift of light and time, embraced the humility and wonder that astronomy offers, appreciated the extraordinary conditions that allow life on Earth, felt our connection across time and space to all humanity, and explored practices for incorporating cosmic perspective into our gratitude. The universe is vast, we are small, but we are here. That is enough. That is everything. Thank you for joining me on this journey under the stars. Until next time, keep looking up, keep wondering, and keep finding reasons to be grateful for this beautiful, mysterious cosmos we call home.